What's up, YouTube? Legendmaster here with a UU match. This one I'm running a team that's actually done pretty well on Pokemon Showdown and Pokemon Online. It's pushed me up in ranking nice little chunk. Not that I care about ranking, but it does kind of show what the team's available capabilities are. Anyway, it's kind of a mix of offense and defense, being defensively in Empoleon and specially defensively in Claydol. Offensive threats are the Victini, which is banded, Scarf Darmanitan, and Flying Gem Tornadus, which actually I goofed up on Pokegen, but that's another story. I fixed it after the second battle of Wi-Fi I had with it. Anyway, he led with the Swampert. I've noticed with this team I have a little bit of trouble with Swampert, but this one gave me a lot more problems than I was expecting. Anyway, I thought it was going to be the defensive setup Swampert, so I will just go for the taunt, and he just turns out not to be that. Goes for the hyper-offensive Swampert, if you will. Very bulky offensive Swampert anyway. Smacks me with Ice Punch, does a ton of damage, nearly takes out Tornadus, no problem. So I'm just going to switch out knowing I can't afford taking another Ice Punch. And it does a good little chunklet of damage, but not as much as I was kind of hoping, especially considering what happens here. I go into Empoleon knowing I can take an Earthquake from this guy because this is a defensively oriented Empoleon. Max physical defense, max HP, or like 2 off, so it can take a little less damage from Stealth Rock. But anyway, I can easily take anything this Swampert has, even the Earthquake. I can take one, I know I can. And that's the only reason why I go into this thing, because I know I can take an Earthquake. Just so I can get the Toxic off, then I can switch, go into Claydol, so keep Empoleon for later, and use him for nice support. Anyway, he does go for the Earthquake, as expected, and like, no biggie, I can take it. I mean, it's super effective, but I am max defensively invested. Not a problem. And about the halfway point, I was like, okay, it should stop, but no. Gets me with the crit, and as soon as I lost Empoleon, I knew this match was going to go very badly, because Empoleon was such an important member to the team because of Swampert. This Empoleon could help handle Swampert really well, but unfortunately, because of that crit, that's not going to happen, and that is going to leave me in a very difficult position. Anyway, I go into Victini, trying to bait a switch. That's exactly what happens. I mean, I don't really have any other options, so I kind of had to try to bait that switch. Anyway, in comes Dusclops, and I'm just going to U-turn out, because I didn't really want to stay in it. I knew he was going to switch because of the threat of the Victini, possibly Specs or whatever. Anyway, I'm going to just Volt Switch, or U-turn out, not Volt Switch, U-turn, and go into Claydol so I can get my entry hazards up. Because I've lost Empoleon, getting these hazards up and getting the Toxic on Dusclops is so much more important. Anyway, get the Toxic on Dusclops, which is good, but we do trade Toxic here, which is unfortunate, because this is my only other defensive wall. If I lose Claydol, I don't have anything I can really switch into and be able to take hits with. So that's a problem. But because of that, I'm just going to go ahead and throw my rocks up as he decides to switch. And he does go into something I cannot deal with at all. I'm guessing it's a banded Zoomerl with huge power. There's no way I can take an Aqua Jet from this thing. At least with Claydol. But I do have a bulky special attacking Meloetta, so I can go into that, take any Aqua Jet without really any problem, and deal with it. But he actually pulls a double switch here. Guessing he doesn't want to get hit by a Toxic. I think that might be what it is. I think I might have been willing to sacrifice Claydol just to get that Toxic on him. I can't remember, but I think, yeah, that's exactly what I do. I just try to get the Toxic on the Azumarill, but it doesn't happen that way. He doesn't want a Toxic, I guess. Anyhow, now I don't know what this Dusclops wants to do, so I don't really want to switch into a Will-O-Wisp and take more residual damage. So I'm kind of in a difficult position, so I just decided I'm going to go for the Ice Beam, see what he's going to do, and then switch out after seeing what he's doing. So he does go for that Nightshade, and I'm like, well, that's actually a good thing to see. I can deal with it no problem, especially with Meloetta, who is immune to Nightshade because of her normal typing as well as Psychic. So that's kind of the plan. Unfortunately, it has dropped me down below 100 HP, which means I'm not going to take on Azumarill with Claydol anymore. So I have to retreat because I don't want to lose Claydol yet. And I actually decided I better sacrifice Tornadus here. But he actually does pull a switch here. I guess that does work out in his favor, actually, because Azumarill will easily one-shot, but I have nothing that can take an Aqua Jet now and enjoy it. I mean, I could go into Meloetta, but after the first Aqua Jet, that's a 3-hit KO, and I can't afford losing Meloetta. It's really my only chance to beat this guy now. So I do go into Meloetta, who I wanted to name I Want to Be a Pop Star, but that's way too long. Anyway, so and he does pull a switch here, and he goes into Crocodile. And thankfully for me, I decided I'm just going to go for the Relic Song. It's Stab, and has a 20% chance of putting him to sleep thanks to Serene Grace. And hit the Relic Song, of course, does good damage and puts Crocodile to sleep. I could have stayed in here, and that wouldn't be a bad thing, but at the same time, I couldn't really remember what his team was at this point, and I really didn't want to lose Meloetta. So I decided I'm just going to U-turn out and go into something else, just to see if I can keep some momentum going and threaten with, say, Darmanitan or something. Which I believe I should have gone into Darmanitan here, which, yes, I do go into Darmanitan. But seeing Azumarill, I can't stay in. I just can't. I mean, I can't take a banded Aqua Jet. That's going to force me to switch. And so I'm going to just go into Claydol, sacrifice the thing, because I can't really use it anymore. It's pretty injured, and I don't want to take an Aqua Jet. So I'm just going to have to sacrifice Claydol, and Azumarill is causing me a lot of problems here. And now I'm forced to go into Meloetta, and I'm just going to fire off the Stab Psychic just to do as much damage as I can. That's the plan. Which, if I had thought about it, it probably would have been smarter to go for the Relic Song, but I didn't recall if he had anything else that had a move that would cause me problems. I figured Hitmontop was a defensive, rapid spinning one, but we'll just see what happens there. See if my prediction paid off. Anyway, seeing the psychic damage, he knows he's going to lose Azumarill, so he does go ahead and he switches into his Dusclops to die to another psychic attack. Or, if I did go for a Relic Song here, he could have dodged that, and then if he has Shadow Sneak, gone for that and done some really... well, he couldn't have done any damage of normal. Wow, I gotta get used to Meloetta's type. It is such a strange type. I understand why some people try to pull off a Shadow Ball or something on Meloetta, thinking, oh, Psychic Pokemon, hit it with a Shadow Ball, kill the thing. Nope. Anyway, he does go into his Swampert, which has been causing me havoc, and so I'm just going to U-turn out, and I'm, because I know I need Meloetta if I have a chance at winning this. Meloetta is my most important player. And so I figure I'm going to go into Darmanitan, hoping he's going to overpredict here and go for the Ice Punch or something. But no, he decides he's just going to play it safe, go for the safe Waterfall, and that is the end of Darmanitan, which is possibly the other Pokemon I really need to win this game. And when I saw Darmanitan go down, I knew this is going to be a big problem. So now I'm going to go into Victini, figuring a Stab, Banded Zen Headbutt should be no difficult task to finish off the Swampert. So that's my plan. And go for the Zen Headbutt. Hits, of course, it's 100 accuracy, and just not quite enough damage. Banded Victini just couldn't do it. Oh man, that was really depressing. I guess I should have probably gone and hit with the V-Create just to see if I could have gotten a little bit more damage. But it is resisted. I mean, higher base, but it is resisted. And that does mean I am in a very difficult situation, down to Meloetta and Meloetta alone, and I was so sure Hitmontop is a rapid spinner, so I didn't consider it to be a problem at all. Just go into Meloetta, and I'm like, well, Clean Psychic will clean it out, no problem. Take it out, and I'm like, well, this is actually should be in my favor, because I can easily finish off Hitmontop with the Psychic. If it comes in, I can deal with Azumarill because I have enough HP left, and those are. And then his last Pokemon shouldn't be too much of an issue, just because of entry hazards and everything. But he has Sucker Punch, Technotop. I'm guessing that, or he still could have been a Rapid Spinner because 80 base and all. But that does mean Aqua Jet's going to finish me off, and that is going to be the game very shortly. I know it is. Even if I got a min damage roll, I don't think I'm going to be able to survive it. But it was a pretty fun game against this guy. That crit with Empoleon, oh man, that really didn't help. But that's what happens in Pokemon. You get lucky rolls and unlucky rolls. In my case, I didn't have the luck. So, yeah, good game, and I really enjoyed this one. It was definitely a good challenge, and I hope you enjoyed. This one will probably go up next Sunday, like the first Sunday in April. I don't know exactly, probably around 8 a.m. But anyway, that is game, and I hope you all enjoyed.